How are your headphones? Good?
Huh? Yeah, mine sound good. It's a little loud. Did you just put it up?
I put it up a little bit. Good? Alright, I'm bringing you in.
Okay. Alright, everyone. Am I in? Yeah. Alright. So maybe turn my mic up a little further in my head. Alright, guys. This is Yuval here from Yo Miami, and I'm here for our monthly show called My Little Town. I got thrown off by that, John. I'm not going to lie. That messed up my intro a little bit, but it's always a little. I feel like that's the charm of my intros, is that they're always messed up. But here we are, episode 6. Fact check. I have to check it. Might be. I think it's 6. It's 6 or 7. Of
Is
My
it
Little
6
Town.
or 7?
I think it's 6.
Okay.
I'm like pretty sure.
All right.
Of My Little Town with Nabedi Osorio. Mainly I feel like I associate you mainly with the state of the band,
Yes.
but also more recently with Haute tension. I'm gonna say that.
You said it correctly. That's right.
Hot
Haute.
tension. If
Yes.
you want to visualize the spelling. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's been a very eventful day for you.
It's been quite the roller coaster in a great way, but yeah, that's life.
Cheers to everything you got going on. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take that as the perfect natural opportunity to shout out our sponsor, J. Wakefield Brewing.
Yes.
Last or at this point only independently owned and operated craft brewery in Wynwood. I have to fact check myself on that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You're all about those facts.
Alleged. Not like the kids are, but yeah. You know, that's the new thing, facts. But they spell it F-A-X, I think, and I'm like, it's ironic because I don't think you know
What a fax
what
machine
that.
is.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't think you have that association. I have those weird old moments, and I'm not
Mhm.
that old, but it's I think people are getting older faster. Like even though I'm like my early 30s, I feel like it's the equivalent. You know how they say like 60s and you 40 or whatever because
Mhm.
people live longer, so it's like older people still feel younger. I feel like it's the opposite also though, because like
Yeah.
kids are changed, like
They grow older faster. Is that what
they
you're
actually
saying?
don't, because I'm like no, they actually stay kids longer, but I guess just because like technology is
Yeah, I
increasing,
think it's
so.
because we come from that time where it was before all the computers and cell phones craze,
Right.
and then we kind of merged into it. So
Right.
we're that segue group.
Right.
Yeah, that generation.
And technology changes kids, and then they change faster because technology changes.
Exactly. But I like being from this time.
From this time
From
and this town. Oh,
This town,
and it
especially
does it
this
again.
town.
Tying it right back into the title.
That's how we do.
So, I did go back actually, and I was mid pulling up my notes, but I went back and I actually interviewed you. The last time I interviewed you formally, which was in writing, was actually one of the first but it was one of the very early blog articles when I was actually still trying to keep up with content on the Yo Miami website. That's yo-miami.com. And it was May 25th. Well, I don't know if this is when I uploaded it or when we did it, but May 25th, 2012, which happens to be my birthday.
Hey,
so I don't know.
it was
You know
your
why I was
birthday,
uploading blogs.
Did you fact check that?
I did, yeah. I had to go to my
Okay,
notes
alright,
to
I see.
double check,
That's
but
good.
and that was right before you were moving to Los Angeles.
That's right.
And here we are.
It was
So I
actually.
had to look at the date to do the math. That's
Yeah.
7 years later,
Yeah, that's
almost.
crazy, and I'm here back in Miami once again.
Back in Miami, sitting across from a table for me.
Doing it again 7 years later.
Stepped it up a little bit, right?
A little bit.
From
few things have changed in a great way, and I've done a few things since 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
With Rachel Goodrich out west.
Yeah, it was fun actually. When I played with Rachel Goodrich, we ran into each other, and I actually started playing bass guitar in a little punk rock band that we had called Jag for a minute. And then we met this amazing bass player. Her name was Ellie, so we ended up going, you know, I went back to drum set and we formed Rachel Goodrich and the Girls, and that was a lot of fun. The Girls, GRRRLS. We did this really rad music video called Monster Mash.
Which is awesome.
It was,
out.
it was taped on a VHS camera from the 80s, so I had that really,
So
like,
no filter, it was
great
just
at
actual
all.
old technology.
Yeah, it was great, and it was done badly on purpose, so it has this, like, comedic kind of sense from back in those times, so it's a great time warp.
Yeah, which I feel like the sound of the song also is very much in that vein, where it's like, and a lot of her, maybe she's going away from that a little bit now, but I'm not. But you know, that kind of playful, like kind of making fun of yourself, but being really good at it.
Yeah.
So it's like
Just
ironic.
having fun.
Yeah.
Just having fun. That was always a lot of fun.
I feel like you guys don't think about it, like analyze it as much as I do, as just like
Listen,
what
you're all about the fact checks and all that, you know.
But let's. I want to go back past beyond that, because I did refresh my memory on what we talked about 7 years ago.
I think that was right before Nabedi Palooza.
It may have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think I made it to just for a little bit.
Mhm.
I wasn't in those videos. I was looking for there's those arc anyway. But yeah, so at the time you had been playing with Steph, or at least officially, like, as a state of, for like 5 years. So we're going on 12 years now. That state of, you know, little hiatus. Even then, you guys were recording and playing together from opposite ends of the country.
Yeah.
What's that like, being in a band that's been playing together for 12 years?
It's a sisterhood, you know. It's family. It's friendship. It's ups and downs, and it's blood. Blood that isn't the same blood, but it is blood, you know.
Right.
We've been there through everything with each other and for each other, and music has always kept us going so strong. We really have something special. So, you know, we've been playing in November. It'll be 12 years that we've been a band, and that's the longest relationship I've ever had in my life, and it's beautiful. And Steph and I have really grown really strongly together, and we have a really great connection when we're on stage. We don't even have to talk to each other, you know. We look at each other and we know what's going to happen, and, you know, we have a great time, and we're actually writing some new stuff, and we got into the studio recently with Denise Faxes, also known as Faxes, which we'll speak about her later.
She has something, because I think
yeah,
Christy
well,
posted.
we'll talk about that later, but hey, one thing at a time. Stay on track here.
It's not my strong suit.
I always try to stay on track, but then I go off. But anyways, back to the state
that's your
of.
job as the drummer, is keeping the band on track.
Hey, but sometimes you do a little solo here and there, and then you're like, oh, going back to it. So back to the state of.
Yes.
We went into the studio recently. We recorded an EP
Nice.
with Denise Faxes, which is an amazing sound engineer, and amongst other things, that girl's super talented. She helped us out with this, so we're finishing it up, and we'll be releasing that soon. And then with that, obviously, you know, we'll talk about hitting the road a little bit and doing some shows out of Miami. We do play most of South Florida, but it's been a while since we've hit the road, so we're itching for that feeling, because we did spend a good time. About 3.5 years we spent on the road.
Yeah.
We did a total of 37 weeks, so we'd be on the road for 2 months, we'd be off the road for 2 months, and then it was like that for that entire time. We won't do it in that caliber, but
Right, yeah.
we had the experience, and it was wonderful. We learned a lot about it. We grew a lot from it. But we've been home now for a while, so we're ready to go out there again.
You're getting that itch.
Yeah.
So, you guys, but you met, I think, right in high school. What, you didn't start playing together, but
No, it was. I was out of high school already. She was, I think, just getting out of high school. So I was 19, she was 17, and a friend of ours, her name is Steph as well. She said to me, "Oh, you need to meet this girl, Steph." And then she told Steph about me.
Right.
So we met and we played together, and we're little kids basically, but it was magic.
Right.
And then Steph went to college, and I stayed here, started playing in the local scene, playing with a bunch of different bands, just becoming, you know, the pocket drummer here in Miami. And I went one day to Pawn Shop, if you remember that club.
I do remember.
That was
It's on my
such
drive
a
home.
man. We've been recently talking about that place, because I was just.
Isn't it an actual pawn shop now, I think?
No. Now that's something else now, and I think it's just a parking lot.
All right. Right, yeah.
Yeah,
like
there's
next to the
nothing
parking
there.
lot, I think there's a pawn shop.
No, dude.
Huh?
Where are you?
Not
Are you in
something of the-
Miami? Are you in the same city?
Yeah.
Drive down that block. There's nothing there.
All
It's a
right.
parking lot. Anyways, so Pawn Shop. It was an actual pawn shop back in the day,
Right.
but they turned it into a club.
Right.
Anyways, there was a show there, and I was standing watching the band, And then all of a sudden, I look over to my right and I see Steph, and she looks to her left, and there I am, and I'm like, Steph? She's like, Nabedi? And then that was what, 2007? That's when we started playing together.
Right.
So now we're in 2019, and here we are.
Here we are.
It's about
And
to be
so
12 years.
in those early heydays, you also played with, among other bands, like Swanello, right?
The Swanello was actually the very first band that I played in 1999.
So, question: was Adrian with the band at that point already?
Honestly, I don't think he was.
Because
yet.
I was asking him the other day. I'm like, oh, like I don't even remember how it came up.
Honestly, there wasn't a lot of the same players. And I forget this. It was so long ago.
Yeah, but it's good like that.
I
Like
really
there are bands like where they, they can kind of be a little fluid and it still keeps. Like,
yeah, of course. The essence of Swanello has always been the same, and it's been consistent, and it's grown, and it's become so amazing, and it's such a staple name that everybody knows. So to have that as my first band experience, I mean, it was 1999.
Right.
We played in Paco's Tavern on the beach, and that doesn't exist anymore. And then the next day, they hired me again to play at, it was Moe's in the Grove.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Is it Moe's? Mr. Moe's?
Mr. Moe's,
yeah,
yeah.
Mr. Moe's. Yeah, I was 19 years old.
So what does it feel like being one of those?
Hired guns?
No, like no. Looking back, I guess I kind of associate you guys on the same plane as Swanello, as Elastic Bond, as Artificial, as those bands that I don't know when they started before I saw them, but from 2009, 2010, 2012. The bands that I would see everywhere at all the local stage and all that was later, but if it's in the Grove or in South Beach, like in some of the more out of the way spots, but one of the bands that's still together after 12 years, and I feel like you have your own niche with like State of, not that only people that play in, there's too many genres of music now, but I feel like you guys have a legacy. I feel like that's a big word, but I feel like you guys have a legacy in the South Florida music scene.
Well, we've definitely made a place for ourselves here. Steph and I, there's two of us in the band. For those of you who have not seen us, we are the State of, and Steph plays a full keyboard and 2 synthesizers and sings. So right there, she's covering bass and atmospheric and a piano and voice, and then I come in with a full drum set and other accessories and percussion and sing as well. Sonically, we sound like 6 people. It's all live. There's no pre-recorded anything. When people are at a bar and they have their back turned towards us, they think it's a whole band, but then they turn around and it's only 2 of us.
Right.
So that's something very special.
Yeah.
So the essence of less is more is what we are, and also we definitely have something different that we bring to the table. And that is the essence of freestyle and kind of improv at the moment. So it could kind of be like, not necessarily like a comedy show, but we definitely have fun and we make people laugh. We have a good time. So I call us sit-down comedians because naturally we're sitting down on our instruments. But
you actually cracked that joke. Sorry,
I've done that before.
At Nabedi
Yeah.
Palooza, because I was looking at those old videos.
That's funny.
You said that joke as you sat down.
And I was like, I'm a sit-down comedian. Listen, it's okay to repeat things a few times. You might get the same
Everyone has
people.
their their go-to
It's funny because one thing that I've said forever, and a lot of you out there have heard this one, and you will probably hear it again. At the end of every show, when I'm breaking down my drums and there's like 1,000 pieces everywhere, I'm like, I should have played the flute, but it's not as cool. Anyways, yeah.
I mean, Rock Burgundy made it.
Yeah, I saw some guy beatboxing and playing the flute, and that was pretty damn
Here?
cool. Yeah, well, he's from New York, but
Right.
yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
It inspired me. I was like, man, I should be that guy.
Well, but you do play a number of instruments, so let me refer to my notes. Started with the piano,
Yes.
guitar,
Yes.
bass,
Yes.
ukulele,
Yes.
percussion, I would say obviously a wide range.
Yes.
Melodica,
Yes.
I heard you play, seen you play, whatever.
Obviously
How many
sing.
more, what are we missing?
A vocal,
Vocals.
your vocals is an instrument, yeah.
Just like, your hands could be deadly weapons, your voice could be an instrument.
What other instruments? I mean, I've been very blessed with the gift of music, and I grew up in a musical family. My grandfather played Cuban jazz for over 40 years. He played the saxophone and the clarinet. So I was always around music. My mom played piano.
Clarinet's pretty close to
Yeah, there you go. It's a woodwind. So, yeah, I've always been around music. So I pretty much pick up instruments even if I've never played them, and I'll try it out. It's kind of like everything I do in life. I never limit myself. I kind of just...
We're going to get into that.
Yeah, we are. Because this guy the other day actually asked me the right question. He's like, what don't you do? I'm like, that is the best question. So, yeah, I just...
The funny thing is when you sit there and think about it, knowing you're just going to be like, oh, so now I have to figure out how to do that thing that I thought
yeah.
about.
It's just fun. It's fun to challenge yourself and try things. And, like, what's the worst that can happen? You suck at it? Okay, at least you tried, you know? Don't be afraid to do things.
Right.
Don't be afraid to take those risks and chances. I mean, life can be so crazy and so amazing and so messed up and so much of everything, but it's called life for that reason. And you gotta take it and you gotta go with it and you gotta experience it, because what are you gonna do, sit on a couch and not do anything and wait for things to come to you? I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not gonna happen.
Some people, you know, but
yeah, I mean,
you're
unless
not
you
one of
order
those
everything
people.
from Amazon, but still, you gotta, get up to go to the door, you know? But yeah, life is fun. So yeah, I guess you should go talk about the next subject.
So let me make sure I don't skip something. Right. So I'm pretty good for it. But I'm trying. Usually we jump around a lot more.
You're talking with a drummer, so remember.
You're keeping me on track.
Keeping you on track.
I'm just gonna have you come every show from now on.
I should.
But let's getting back to.
You know what? I should have brought a little like snare drum, and someone will be like,
oh,
"Hey, I'm here on
John, hook it up, man. Come on. We gotta have
sound effects.
At least 5 different instruments available on hand in the studio for.
I have some boom whackers in my car, but you know.
Yeah, I
don't know if I want to run out there.
I'm gonna work on some stuff. At least if I know musicians are coming to the studio. But so when did you? Because another passion profession at this point of yours involves the culinary world. When did you start was that also from a very young age and kind of like parallel with the music, or did that come later? How did that come about? So for those that don't know, Mondays, I don't know the times, but Monday,
like about 5:30 on until I run out.
So that is exactly what you just described. The inspiration for the name of the comedy show that I'm going to start doing so Box Elder is the place that we're talking about. It's called Loosey Goosey Comedy Hour because it's very loosey goosey over there. The chicken sandwiches are, around 5-ish.
There's always an ish involved
Yeah.
because, I mean, it depends.
I like that they own that Miami-ness, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it gets you there, you're hanging out, you're just waiting, and you're going to get an amazing pizza that I make.
Right,
so Pizza Party Mondays is what he's trying to get to people. I'm going to keep him on track here. At Box Elder in Wynwood, we do pizzas on Monday, and basically with the purchase of a beer or a glass of wine, you get a pizza, and it's a handmade pizza.
Gratis.
All fresh, gratis. Propina para la pizza. Yeah, what?
Tips
yes, of
accepted.
course. Tips are always welcome. And I also take them on Cash App because we got to keep up with the times, but cash is great. Anyways, back on track.
Right. So
Pizza
culinary.
Party Mondays, culinary. So I started when I was a kid. I would help my mom and my grandma, and I'd always in the kitchen. Both my brothers always enjoyed cooking because of our mom and grandma. And then...
Eating the cooking or like cooking?
Well, no, both. Eating and then also cooking. We each have our own style of cooking, but for the most part, we keep the basis of, like, our dishes very common,
The same roots.
We come from Cuban, Mexican backgrounds, but for the most part, we were raised more Cuban.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good mix. I'm first generation American, born here in Miami, born and raised.
Nowadays you got to get that out and make sure that's...
Yeah, people are like, oh, you're from Miami, 305. Maiden date, baby. What? Alright, so when I moved to LA is when I really got deep into the culinary. I helped a friend open up a spot in Hollywood, and I was the chef there, and I helped out with the menu, and I was running the place for a while. It was great. It was a hair salon, new studio out there. We have one here in Miami, which is the original. But I was helping Todd out there, and unfortunately, I had a family emergency that I had to come back home for. So I was out there for 3 years doing a lot of different things, challenging myself, growing, learning, and knowing things that I could do that I never thought that I would do.
Right.
So again, challenging myself. And then, unfortunately, my older brother was diagnosed with cancer, and I lost him in November of 2016. So that's why I came back to Miami. A lot of people still don't even know that, but you know, family is very important. So I dropped everything I was doing out there, and I came back here. And I wouldn't change anything, you know, because I was able to be there for him throughout everything till his last breath. So he's with us. He's in the ocean, and we're surrounded by water. So I'm always with him, which is beautiful. And he was actually one of the biggest influences for me with my culinary life. He taught me a lot of patience. He taught me how to use different knives, different slices, different ways to fillet fish. He was a spearfisher. That was his passion. So he taught me how to grill. He taught me how to saute. He taught me like how to prep and how to do everything neatly, how to clean while you're cooking. And it was just, he was very strategic, very patient, very calm. And that's where I get that from, you know. So, and I also get a lot from my mom.
Well, you both, you know,
yeah,
you both got it from her.
For sure. But yeah. So, a lot of the ways that I cook, you see, like, you could tell that, you know, I'm like transcribing the energy of my brother through my cooking, which is beautiful. So I make pizzas on Mondays, and everything that I make is with love. And maybe I'll make you a pizza that's heart-shaped, you know?
I have seen, I've seen the pictures.
That's a lot of fun.
I didn't get one, by the way. Mine was circle.
Well, that's
it's a new thing
we'll have to change that. No, I did it the week of Valentine's Day.
Sure.
So I was spreading extra love to everyone. But yeah, I could make them at any time.
I still tasted the love. Don't worry.
There's always love.
Even the circle, even the circle ones.
Even circles, hey.
Circles need love too. But I was actually, because I was thinking about gastropod, actually, yeah. So that was before, because
that was way before. Yeah, gastropod. Was before. Yeah, I helped Jeremiah out with the gastropod when it first started. So that was the first food truck out here in Miami.
Shouts to Jeremiah Bullfrog.
Yeah, and Carla, his wife, and the kids.
Because Carla is the only one who actually remembers me when I see when I go up in line.
She's amazing. Yeah, they're both amazing people. I mean, they're very generous, very kind, very, very hardworking. And always with a smile on their faces, and they have such a good time, and you have a good time, and it's always been such a pleasure working for them and with them, and their family as well. And it's beautiful to see how they've grown individually with their own crafts, and as well as a family. And to be part of that is really cool. So yeah, I was helping them out with that, and we did festivals, and we parked that.
I remember that's why I knew about, because you went to Bonnaroo, I think.
Exactly, that was awesome. That was right before I moved to LA. Yeah, that was fun. Fun times.
Going down memory lane.
Fun times with food. Hey, listen.
You were also doing the hot dogs at Box Elder for a while. Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't hot dogs. Let's get this right.
Sausages.
Proper sausages. Shout out to Proper Sausage.
All right.
Because they would definitely supply us with those proper sausages. They're amazing. And I'd sous vide them, and then I would blowtorch them for a finish.
Yeah, it was always an extra.
Exactly.
Like, you guys got to bring a little flair.
Yeah, actually, we're going to be bringing that back soon, so look out for that. So not only will we be doing Pizza Party Mondays with Nabedi Crocker, but we're doing sausages on another night.
I was going to say.
And we're going to have a vegan option, too, because everybody's got to eat.
Didn't come out yet, so I was going to be like, go check out Nabedi
I need a theme song. I'm going to work on that.
Well, yeah, it was like, I know some people. for a theme song, or one person that you see often. So speaking of because I did have one question. If you absolutely had no choice, had to make the decision, food or music?
Oh. Music.
Okay. I'm not really gonna have to choose, hopefully, God forbid, never make that decision.
Music, because it's such a deep connection that you create with people on so many different levels, and it's so universal. You don't even have to understand what the person's saying, but you feel the music. And not only performing for people, but being able to share music with people as far as teaching and educating and giving the tools to others. And that's
like segueing. My notes.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at your phone. There's actually a mirror behind you, and I can see the notes. No, I'm just kidding. I made you look. No, but I mean, it's natural. Yeah, no, it's natural to segue into that. But music, not only can you create it and share with others, but you can definitely spread it onto others. And I've been teaching now for, I would say, about 12 years at least. And it's been a beautiful ride.
Yeah. So, well, I guess don't give school away, but it's the local school here, and I don't know, is that a thing? Like,
I could talk about the school.
Jobs,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like schools, it's like a...
I mean, it's not a job. I don't think anything that I do with music is a job, whether I make money or not. Like, it's for me, it's my passion. It's what I really enjoy, and it's more fulfilling to see a person of any age pick up the instrument and play and light up. And you see that moment that they click and they catch it and they're like, oh, I could do this. And it's like, yes, you can.
Right.
And it's something that has been instilled in this world is people say, I don't know if I can, or I don't know, or maybe. No, you can. And you're going to try and you're going to do it, and you will. Right. It's all about setting yourself
in a
positive
positive badly, way. And maybe you'll mess it up, but you'll do it.
You have to try, you know? And yes, you can. You can do it. You might not be the best right away. Yes, you can. We're gonna bring it back to it. No, we're not getting into politics. This isn't this not this radio show. But yeah, that's I'm teaching at a school here in Wynwood twice a week. I also teach privately, and I'm also part of at the school I work for Guitars Over Guns.
Oh, so okay, that's actually I didn't think about them, but yes, also shout out to Chad.
Yeah, Chad and the whole crew of Guitars Over Guns, which is a great program, after school program that is mostly in South Florida, but is also extended out into Chicago, and we work with kids that are at risk, and we basically help save lives, because it's amazing what these kids go through and what they need, and we're able to give them these tools and see them grow and see them flourish and become so amazing, because they have the potential. It's just they might not have the person to believe in them and to help them, and that's what we're there for. So it's a great program, and that goes on all year long. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also part of the Miami Girls Rock Camp, which is another amazing program, which is that was your next note, wasn't it? The Miami Girls Rock Camp is a great program. It is empowering young women from the ages of 8 to 17. We give them musical instruments, we form bands, we teach them all about life in every form and aspect. I mean, we allow them to be exactly who they are, whoever they feel they are, inside and out. We allow them to be
like
free.
An asshole, then it's like,
well, no, it's, hey, no cursing, all right? We're talking
no,
about...
No, well, listen, I'm not saying go tell your students to listen.
I know. But what if I do have kids listening out there? Anyways, that wasn't me, kids.
Right.
But
look at you being a good example and telling me, hey, you shouldn't curse.
Yeah.
There might be kids listening.
That's a teacher in there. But yes, we allow them, like, if nowadays we have a lot of people that feel different, and whoever you are, inside and out, like I was saying, just be who you are. You're beautiful, and everybody should accept everyone in this world, and that's a problem that we have. And there are no judgments, especially in that camp. We're not there to judge. We're there to make a safe place for everyone. And yes, it might be for girls, but it's a male-dominated world most of the time, and especially in the music industry. And it's not that we're creating any sort of hate. We're actually always empowering people to love everyone and be open. But sometimes as women, we need to feel a very safe place, and we create that, And it's really cool to see our little campers, and I call them little because, for me, like, I guess I'm thinking like a mom always. Right. But I see them, and they're young, and to see them growing within that 1 week. And
so
it's 1 week, that's all it is. Monday through Friday, Saturday off, and then Sunday's a big performance. Right. And you see them grow from day 1 to day 5. From day 1 to day 2.
Why I thought it was longer, because I know you always have the big performance at the end. I'm like,
it's all
I guess
done.
I would assume it's like the summer, it's like 2 months or whatever.
It's
like,
all done within 5 days. So we have about 40 plus volunteers, and we all put our parts in, and we volunteer our time, and we work together, and we're a family. We create this beautiful unity, and the campers see that, and they shadow that, and they mirror it, and they do the same exact thing amongst themselves, and it's really cool to see that. We instilling that strong, essence of power and camaraderie, So it's a beautiful thing to do. And it's, community service and community building. We need that.
Yeah.
Miami's a
And-
special town. We have a lot of diversity, and we all exist in one place together.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, like overlapping.
Yeah.
And how, like, does that, I'm assuming it takes a lot of support from the communities. I'm assuming there isn't some, like, billionaire that's like, hey guys, I want to start a girls' rock camp.
Not at all. It's a lot of fundraising and a lot of time that Steph, Taylor, Emily, and Heather, those are the 3 founders of the Miami Girls Rock Camp, and they're working all year long, putting together fundraisers, writing to people, trying to get grants. Gotten a couple of the Knight Foundation grants and other little things here and there, but it's definitely we're open to people donating money as well, because it's all nonprofit.
Yeah.
And we dedicate our time. We don't get paid for that.
Right.
And our payment is actually seeing them, at the end of that week and performing on stage.
I mean, let's get it to where you also get paid, like, in money, but.
No, we don't get paid in money.
I know, I'm saying
okay.
let's get it to
where, okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. I mean, yeah, and it
So
would be nice.
If you have a big fat check that you've been looking to write, where can they, is it, like, can you donate straight on the website, or it's, like, contact?
Well, any information you would want to get from the Miami Girls Rock Camp, just go to miamigirlsrockcamp.org. You can Google search Miami Girls Rock Camp, period, just, it'll come up. You'll find stuff. It's really easy to find Miami Girls Rock Camp.
Much easier to find than the state of.
Oh yeah, we made that band name so hard for everyone. But if you're on Instagram, it's @the_state_of.
Right, and then it's different things everywhere else.
Yeah, it's not like my name that you spell my name and it's easy to
find.
find.
Right, yeah, Nabedi is super easy. Look up Nabedi.
As long as you know how to spell it, Nabedi.
I guess.
Because some people think it's TTY or TTY.
Right, I guess. I was gonna say it's like pretty straightforward, but yeah, it's like
Tell Siri to say my name. She'll be like, Nabedi Osorio. I got Beady eyes.
I mean, listen, you don't want to get. I mean, maybe that's why we got along so well when we first met, because Yuval and Nabedi.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if you could find 2
we're like
more out there names.
We're like Laverne and Shirley.
Is it because they're weird names, or because they were like?
I don't know. I just
bosom
wanted.
buddies. You just
I
wanted
think
to
so.
say
Yeah.
Laverne and
I
Shirley.
just felt like we're like Laverne and Shirley. I wanted to say that.
I like to think more like Lucy and Ethel.
Okay, we could be that too. Thelma and Louise, want to go on a road trip? I mean, we can keep going. I love these are all they're all female iconic women. We're talking awesome.
Which we're not gonna get into that.
No, not yet. That's the next segment.
No, we got time, but we don't got that much. So Miami Girls Rock Camp. Let's segue into more recent times. So you came back from LA. This was like about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All these different diverse world experiences getting you to that point. The unfortunate situation with your brother bringing you back home. You're home. How do you, like, did you immediately jump back into, because I mean, you've been trying to remember, like, myself, like, from having known you and, like, being onto, like, being in touch with, like, what was going on, but it's 3 years ago. Like, did you jump back right into things with Steph, like,
Yes.
into playing and all that? And
She was actually the first person I called when I decided to sell everything and move here. I said to her, "Hey, Steph, get ready, because Nabedi's coming home." And she's like, "Great timing, because we're about to kick off the Miami Girls Rock Camp." So I came back right in time for camp. So it was perfect. I just came right in, and Steph and I played at the show, and that was at Grand Central, which rest in peace, Grand Central. That was a great place.
I don't know like what happened with that park with that guy, but
we don't gotta talk about that. That's not on your list, all right? Don't get off track yet. So we started playing shows, and then I started working, doing a bunch of things as I always do. I mean, the people found out that I was here. A few people that found out, because I was still, having to deal with all the family stuff and take care of the family. So I took on a lot coming back here. So I was kind of disconnected but connected. It was a really weird duality I was kind of living. So during the past 3 years, I've kind of been like the moments where I'm like here and then not here, because I've been through a lot of trauma with what my family went through, but always still being very, very much present in what the city is doing right now and how much it's grown between 2012 and 2015 that I was gone.
Yeah, that was
a
actually a big
huge transitional point in Miami.
yeah.
So it was really cool to come back and see everything that was happening. And fast forward 3 years later, what's been happening these past 2 years, this has been very magical to see how the city's changing. I mean, obviously there's a lot of building, a lot more construction, a lot more people. You know, it has its pros and cons, but it's really nice to see that we have made such a big mark on this map.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you think having been in LA that gives you like kind of a different perspective also in terms of how, because yeah, it's always the big comparisons are like, oh, New York, LA, Miami, and Miami's like always the one that's like trying to catch up.
Yeah, I think it's doing a better job catching up. We're catching up quicker, and I think it's because we're getting so much attention here now, and because of all the people investing here and everything that's kind of happening. So being out there in LA, I mean, it was definitely an experience. I love Miami. This is where I'm from, and this is where I will be to the end of time. I still travel around though. The world is pretty amazing. So much to see and so much to do. A lot of grounds to cover, but this is home.
And I think I share that sentiment wholeheartedly.
It's an amazing sense of pride that we have here in Miami. You know, it's nice, and I just happen to have 305 on my arm.
You do all over.
And my abuela's cafetera, Florida, yeah. Keys.
Cafetera.
Well, cafecito is what you drink from the cafetera. I have abuela's cafetera on my arm.
We'll clarify. You'll hold it up to the Facebook live stream later.
Yeah, we'll take pics.
So, at what point did you link up with Monica and Alex?
All right, so now moving forward to the next group, Haute.
Yeah.
I.
Because actually, Monica's involved with Rock Camp also.
That is right. So I know them both separately, and I would always see them around. And then Monica would photograph, the scene. She would photograph my bands and stuff. And then she got involved with Miami Girls Rock Camp as well, and we got to work together on a closer level. And then her and Alex, they formed Mo Booty, and I was a fan of theirs, as well as they were fans of my bands as well. And one day, it was in June or July of this past year, in 2018, they put up a Facebook post saying that they were looking for a touring drummer for all of August. So a bunch of people tagged me on that, and then I responded, I put, I'm here. And then they wrote to me, they're like, hey, are you open with these dates? And I just happened to be open during that time. I didn't really have a lot going on, so I'm like, yeah, why not? Because I love to keep busy. I've got time, I'll be productive with it, you know? So they wrote back to me, and they sent me the music, and I listened to it, and I was really digging in. I'm like, I asked them what were their plans were, because I was imagining, like, traveling for an entire month on the road. And that could take a lot, so I didn't know if I could be gone for an entire month. But when they said it was all Miami shows, I was like, yeah, let's do this.
But so the music that they gave you it had drums on it or not?
Yeah, so they recorded the album with Cody, and it's their drummer. He's an amazing drummer, but he wasn't open to touring the whole time, so they wanted to just have someone that was going to jump on for the whole thing. So I did that. We had a great time. We played 34 shows in 31 days.
Right. That's what. Right. That was the month.
That was a month.
Right.
Yeah. And it was amazing. I mean, we played in places that you would have never expected, like a laundromat.
Yeah.
We
talked about it for years, but it's like, oh, I mean, renovations, whatever, and here we are. It's like a month later. It's like I should have just done it.
Right. It was great though. We played in people's warehouses, and we played inside of an empty pool, and we played on rooftops, and we played. Like a last minute birthday party, and we played at what used to be Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. And then during that 31-day tour, one of the shows was a 3 Points showcase where they were trying to find local bands to put on the bill. Mm-hmm. And we killed that show. It was 15 minutes. We had 15 minutes to perform, and we killed it. Mm-hmm. And we were put onto the lineup for 3 Points, which we just performed this past weekend. Yes. And that was the most epic performance ever. It was amazing. Alex actually fell off the stage. Nothing happened
like,
to him. He was
unintentionally.
yeah, it just
Right.
happened. You know, we were rocking out and he
Right.
stepped on a speaker and it just rolled over a little bit. Nothing. It was nothing. It was,
Right.
but it was
He's
so
okay.
rock and roll
Right.
because that guy did not miss a note.
Wow.
He was playing that guitar and then he was like flip flopping back on the stage. And I call it the beached whale because he kind of looked like a beached whale, like moving up. And he got
Right.
back on that stage and he still did not miss a note. We
Wow.
finished and then he got on the mic and he's like, "What's up? 3 points." And it was like nothing. He tuned the guitar and we just kept playing.
That's great. But how many bruises does he have after?
I'm sure a few, but you know, that's what happens when you're on stage. You're just
Yeah.
so into it and you just rock out. So, definite shout out to David Sinopoli and the entire crew of 3 Points because we really showed people what Miami's all about. All the performers, all the vendors, all the people that put their heart and soul into that festival. It was really, really special. And it was great to be a part of it.
Definitely, and I gotta do my own shout out to Travis Acker, who put together the. He was in charge of the media lounge and in memory of St. On
Yes.
tribute to Lauren Pearlstein,
Yes.
who did pass recently, and I was he asked me to be a part of what he was doing there and brought some artwork, and it's the reason I went, and it was my first time going, and it's not my scene, but it's like. I found the acts that I enjoyed and was able to I dug the festival in terms of like execution and everything. Like I think they did a good job and stuff. And,
It was fun.
you said way nicer things. I'm just like, yeah, it's a good.
You know what was really cool about it was, it definitely lent itself to allowing people to learn about new performers and bringing new audiences to people, which was great, because I myself wanted to catch everyone, so I tried to see at least a little bit of everybody, because you never know what these people sound like, and you'll never know unless you go check them out.
Right.
And
they're making me feel bad because the guy should.
it's okay. Well, there's always next year. There's always next year. You know.
Well, no, or I could just see you guys the next time you play.
Yeah, I mean, you mean us? I mean, you can see us anytime. But
are you guys at Gramps every Wednesday? Or
every Wednesday,
okay.
Atención, we are hosts of the Gramps Happy Hour. There's always new artists that are playing, new musicians, new DJs, and everything. We play sometimes, but it's just to kind of showcase what we have out here in the city. So creating a platform for people to go out every week, and it's early enough to where you can still get home and make dinner, and you can have some amazing pizza or wings, whatever you prefer, at
Not Nabedi pizza. But
no,
still
but
good
Pizza Tropical, yeah. Thumbs up from me. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, Gramps is a lot of fun. Adam's got some really cool stuff. Yeah, Adam, you're doing some great things out there.
On the way at some point. It's been a long time coming, but you'll get there, Adam. I love you.
Yeah.
But I think I saw Magic City Bike Collective is doing some stuff over there in the meantime, like because it's in Little Haiti, like relatively close to where we're at with USPs. But so yeah, I'm just gonna talk about that a little bit. But yeah. So what you were saying about 3 Points, that it introduces people to new acts. You might know actually who this is. So I was there and I forgot. Was it the Friday? It was the Friday night. So the first night. And it was on if you're facing the main stage on the left, like past the jumpy.
Yeah, that's Sector 3 stage with the bus.
That's where you played.
That's where we played, yeah.
So on that stage Friday night, there was, it's like far, and I wear contacts, my eyes are dry at that point, and I see it just looks like an old guy sitting at a table with like some laptops and some different synths or whatever instruments. There's a full setup behind him, like drum kit, like different instruments or whatever. But it's literally just this old dude in like a kind of trucker, not Ed Hardy, but like kind of like a flashy hat. There's another guy in like a hoodie that's just, so it's, the music's going and he's like whatever, and then there's this guy who's walking around. It seems like he's like playing some of the other instruments, and then goes up to the table and is like doing stuff with like the laptop and whatever, and then it breaks out into like, what is it, I'm the Man, I think was like the refrain that got repeated or whatever. It was like a funky kind of vibe, and I think it's like at one point like 10-15 like women come out like in various different like,
that was Poor Girl.
No, was she dressed as an old guy?
No,
On
the
Friday, didn't
person,
she
yeah,
play?
the person who was sitting on the
Right.
table with the
That was her?
laptop. No, that was her aunt, I believe.
Oh, so it was a lady.
Yeah, but she had her hair tied back. She had her
Right.
hat on, and
Oh,
like
so
a
she's
jacket
playing
or
a band.
something. Yeah, she
Right.
was. Yeah, so then exactly, it was like a whole. It was a whole performance. It was amazing.
I have mixed feelings. I
Poor
ain't talking
girl.
this now.
Yeah, no.
Actually,
I thought it was great because it was a whole message to it, you know.
Right.
So it
well,
was
also
great.
because I was gonna say because Monica ran up like on stage with them, I think.
Yeah, at the end, right? Yeah, then they
so
did
that's
this
why
whole.
I'm like, you must know who it is.
Then they did this whole like Saturday Night Live ending.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a really great performance, and it was Tara, poor girl, and yeah, everything she does is wild and fun, and it's always.
Mixed experiences.
I mean, everybody. That's what art is about, you know. Everybody has
No, yeah, not
their
about
perception.
Her art.
Yeah,
I think my perception of her art was tainted by knowing her outside of her art.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
It was just a weird experience out of the
it's okay. You just at first like nobody really know what to expect, but
Right.
I think that was great how it kind of threw everyone off, and then everybody was just sucked into it because it was like, what is this?
Right.
And it was curiosity, and it was just adventurous.
I think it speaks
and
100%
wild.
to what you're saying, in the fact where like you're wandering around sometimes and you might run across an act and just kind of be sucked in and be like, oh, I kind of like this, and when you like look it up, which I just saw your T-shirt. It's funny because we're talking about it before, but
And that's the next thing.
Right. And so, yeah, the fact that I may have not gone to that stage if I realized that, you know, she was the one that was up, but I guess if it wasn't under her name or whatever, but I stumbled on it and I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty cool, a very cool concept.
Yeah.
And you gotta give props where props are due.
For
But I'm
sure.
saying the fact that the festival, you're right, like, made you kind of go out. I mean, some of them where it's like where the bass is just like too crazy. I'm like, no. I'm
Yeah,
like, too old for
yeah.
this shit.
Yeah. I mean, what I did is I didn't even look at the schedule.
You just wanted to.
I just wandered, and I would go into one place, and then I'd hang out there, dance, whatever, enjoy, sit down, listen, watch, and then I'd go to the next spot. So it's almost like I didn't even have concept of time. My phone
Right.
kept dying, and I liked
Yeah,
it.
and there was no service.
You know, and I would take pictures and document a few things here and there, and like kind of put some stuff up so people could kind of see it, because there were a lot of people that didn't get a chance to go.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I kind of made it a point to disconnect a little, because I knew that I was going to connect with people there, which is
Right.
cool. And you kind of just kept running into people, and
Yeah.
you'd say hello, and you'd hug, you high five, or you whatever, just enjoy like a little moment together, watch a show for a second, and walk away, and then find someone else. And it was just a lot of fun to see Miami really come together.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, it was a fun, adventurous weekend that I still feel completely on top of Cloud 9 from, you know, especially after that performance. It was a really cool one.
Yeah, and that's like that. My version of that was because it's not really anymore what it used to be. But Virginia Key, that was like my experience of like. But that's like, you know,
Mhm.
like, this is my speed.
That's where you
But so let's talk about the other stuff that you alluded to. Wait, one thing I wanted to before because we got like 10 minutes, but
we can do this.
I want to talk about because I read it in the interview we did last time. So I guess at the time you were messing with the idea of the state.
Oh yeah.
Is
No,
that making a comeback, or
I
is
mean,
that like
we
living
kind
in the
of
past now?
we tried it once, and we're not against it. So basically, what of the state is the state of backwards, or just flip flop around. So that would be Steph and I flipping, you know, and switching instruments. And we tried it once, and it's, you know, it's
So did I see it, or what? Like, I'm trying to think of why I brought that up.
well, because I had spoken
saw
about
it.
it, and we kind of wrote, we did a song.
Right.
And I think we only performed it maybe once in Fort Lauderdale once at this bar that no longer exists, but it was interesting. But we're definitely going to be experimenting on some fun stuff, and that might be a part of it, you know. We're coming on to a very a new part of us,
Gotcha.
and we're gonna try some fun stuff.
The
The next level, yeah, because we passed that 10-year mark. So
Right.
now we're getting into that new decade, and we're like, all right, let's keep up with those times and bring in some cool things. So just look out for that stuff.
Keeping up with the kids.
Yeah. Speaking of keeping up with the kids, I'm gonna go to the next one myself.
There you go.
I was speaking about Denise Faxis earlier.
Yes.
And I'm actually wearing her t-shirt because I love it. It's a really rad t-shirt. Really cool design. But Phaxis, which is her DJ name, it's spelled Phaxas. If you have not heard of her, she is amazing. And she's having an album release party on the 1st of March at Gramps. And I'll be joining her and playing drums on 2 tracks.
Now I know why I saw that and why it's stuck in my head, because that's also the date that we're doing the Loosey Goosey Comedy Hour at Fox Elder.
Oh, snap.
Which is right down the street, and the
Yeah,
show's
right
at
down the
5,
street.
so you can
There
go
you
to
go.
the comedy show.
Exactly.
And then we got your whole Friday lined up next Friday.
I love it.
March 1st.
I
Because
love
what
it.
time? That shit ain't going to be early. That's going to be
Nah,
like
it's going to
10?
be probably.
All right.
Yeah.
Come to Box Elder, get a free shotgun at 4-ish.
It's usually 4, but yeah, 4-ish. Okay.
4-ish.
But more closer
it's
to
been
4
at 4:30
p.m.
sometimes.
But it's
yeah.
closer to the 4.
And if you miss it, you miss it.
Yeah.
But you show up at 4, get your free shotgun, buy some drinks to support the venue that's giving you a free drink. Stick around for the comedy show, Loosey Goosey Comedy Hour. Got Danny Benevente, who's like the king hipster comic, bartends at a lot of spots. I feel like you must have met him at some point.
Yeah.
He was at Blackbird for a while. And, I don't know where he is now, but lucky day. Not lucky. Yeah, we have a great lineup. Mary Smith, and a few others. It's very loosey goosey. Whoever shows up, we'll give them some time and you laugh, and then saunter all on over to Gramps for the Phaxis
show. Album release party. Yeah. And get a t-shirt and whatever else she has. Her album
cool
too.
T-shirt,
yeah.
That probably has some cool artwork.
Yeah.
Like on the t-shirt, on the album. Yeah. Is there anything else that you're currently working on that you want to...
I actually recently joined another group called the Grand American Vultures.
Do you have like a collection in your like on your mantle, on your fireplace of like the bands? Because you've been with like over at least a dozen bands.
I mean way over a dozen bands. But
like not counting like where you were like a hired gun and you just came in for one night for a show. Like bands that you were like...
Yeah, there's a lot of bands. I mean, I've been playing drums for 25 years, so I've played with a few people.
Went to school with Pitbull, shout out.
Yeah, Pitbull.
Yeah.
So Grand American Vultures, we just recorded a single, so that's going to be dropping soon, as well as a music video, which is really cool. And then
Who's that? Like what's...
It's rock. It's kind of like, I would say like inner Polish.
Cool.
There's a lot of...
You don't have to put yourself in the box.
No, at all. I mean, it's really cool. It's cool music. It's the one track that we recorded so far. It's very drum driven,
cool.
and it's very catchy. Like I catch myself singing it, and it's cool. I love it. And then, sorry, I keep saying hello.
No,
to
right.
people
You're like
behind.
me. It's like wherever you go, there's gonna be someone where it's
people keep walking by the window and they're like, hey.
Like that's what happens from being in this town for so long.
Exactly.
In the same circles.
Yeah. What else? Tomorrow morning I'm gonna be an aunt.
Congratulations.
So that's one of the crazy things that's happening right now. So I just...
Mazzles.
Thank you. I just happened to be able to come out. The doctor's like, go do your interview. And I came over here, and then he's like, come right back afterwards.
I didn't want to give away,
No, I know.
But yes, I extremely appreciate the fact that you still made it out. No problem. Like, we could do it by the phone. We can figure out something maybe. I don't know. Like, just do what you got to do. And, yeah, super glad that you made it out, and we got to sit across from each other and catch up 7 years later.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So, it is. And
thank you for having me here. Yeah, Jill at Radio, John.
Who also, I feel like it's the same. It's like that graduating class, and I feel like it's funny because there's the same, and these circles do overlap in places, but like the visual artists that I know and the musical artists, it's a lot of that, like, they were started or they were playing already around, in the 2010 to 2012 like era. I feel like there's a timeline there, like visual artists, like musicians, where it's like those are the ones. I guess it's just the ones that are still around are the ones that were, either good enough or put in the work and whatever that to still be around. So it's not like such a coincidence. It's just
right. We're all still here.
Yeah. There's
a lot of really great people here in the city that you see them either on a wall or on the radio or at a show, and Miami is very special. We have a lot of special people out here, and it's great to be from here. It's great to say that I'm from here. I'm proud to be from the 305 and our special people. There's nothing like us out there. And no one knows how to make cafecito like we do. Pumita.
That is true. Yeah, I see memes every day. I think we're the #1 exporter of cafecito memes.
It's funny because Cuban culture, they say that if you know how to make a good cafecito, ya te puedes casar. That means you can get married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cansar.
No, casar. Casar is...
So what's cansar?
Cansar is getting tired. Don't get tired, Amo. Wake up.
Those words sound very similar.
No. Don't be lazy. Remember, active.
I'm just saying.
Active like me. I'm non-stop.
You are non-stop.
Seriously.
So last thing, tell people where they could find you on Instagram. I know Nabedi.
Yeah, so if you spell my name correctly, it is Nabedi. Nabedi. So on Instagram, I'm at Nabedi. On Facebook, I'm Nabedi Osorio. You can Google search Nabedi, you'll get me. You can YouTube my name.
Have you ever Google? Are there other Nabedis that come up where
there's actually some folklore dance called Nabedi. So it's N-A. Yeah, I gotta find. I gotta get someone to get me dance moves, and I'll do the dance one day maybe. I have my own dance moves, but they're Nabedi. They're not na.
Oh, which by the way, as we kind of head out here,
are you gonna make me dance?
No.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I didn't mention, one of your credits, longest running, or I don't know if it's been from the beginning, but the 80s prom official band also.
Yeah, so the state of we've been the official 80s prom band for, I want to say we've done 8 or 9 at least, which is beautiful. It's pretty cool. Hey. So yeah, every year the day before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday, Vagabond. Yes. We do the 80s prom, and that's a lot of fun. So the state of, we do an entire 80s cover set.
Everything from Luke 80s, I guess.
No, we haven't done Uncle Luke, but that Uncle Luke stuff is more on the freestyle tip,
right?
Where we throw down that Doodoo Brown song, that heavy bass,
yeah, and
then start freestyling.
Right.
And it's always different. That's the beauty of freestyle.
Yes, it is. All right. So say the website one more time, because I'm forgetting if you said it. So if you didn't, say it again.
For what? For myself?
People want to book you to take a drum lesson, or make them pizza, or proper sausages, or
make them laugh, or build them furniture,
do sit down comedy,
or do some production.
Yeah.
Or what don't I do?
Where do they find you?
At Nabedi. That's on Instagram. So at Nabedi Nabedi, and on Facebook I'm Nabedi Osorio, and Google search Nabedi or YouTube Nabedi, or just come find me. Go outside and scream Nabedi, and I'll be ready.
It usually works. Nabedi is usually ready.
Yeah.
Always ready.
Always.
Right. As always, I'm Yuval Ophir with Yo Miami. We're at It's Yo Miami, and catch us third Tuesday every month, or first Tuesday every month in the morning on joltradio.org. Stream on.